Live from the top of the Gallow mountain at Airfield Turlet. Each day the skies here tell a new story. Welcome to our daily recap of today's highlights, from bold moves in the air to surprises on the field. Bringing you all the action, insights, and a few glider secrets, your host for tonight, Sander Terpstra.
Yes, good evening everybody, and good evening my live audience on top of the Gallow mountain. A mountain it is, exactly 99.8 meters, what I could find. So if you raise 1 foot, you're 100 meters, and that's exactly 105 meters above Amsterdam. The Gallow mountain is called the Gallow mountain because the gallows were here back in the day, just before the internet. We call it the Middle Ages. If you were a naughty boy here in Arnhem, you would be hanged in the center of the city next to the V&D. The V&D is not there anymore, but believe me, it was there in the Middle Ages. And then when that was done, your body would be transported to the Gallow mountain and hung on very, very high poles as a display for all the travelers coming from Apeldoorn into Arnhem, as like, yeah, how do you call it, a business card from Arnhem. Please behave, otherwise you'll get a free spot next to the guys already hanging there. So the Gallow mountains, and as a business card that this mountain is, the GP is a little bit the business card of our sport. We're all trying to make our sport more visible, giving insights now on the daily show. We're having fantastic, maybe the best coverage in the world on the Open Glider network for Flarm. So everybody at home can enjoy the race on his mobile phone or computer. And what a day we had today. Some good racing. It started off, I'll do a little recap of the day. It started off with some, I'll call it prospectors, some heroes going in front. I see one here, Jelmer, diving to the south, hoping for that one huge thermal to come in front of the gaggle. But in the end, the gaggle, it was head over head. They all kind of stayed together until the last turn point, where eventually probably the most experienced pilot knew how to work with the weather today. And therefore the podium today, on the third place, Tijl Smeltzer in the 2 X-ray. He's here on top of the Gallow mountain as well. The second place, Peter Millenaar in the Mike, and the first place is Michael Sommer in the 3 Victor, winning today. And then my table guests of tonight. On the right side, my dear friend Roelof Corporaal. He went to Slovakia a couple of weeks, where we, I tried to coach him a little bit during the competition, and he was there all alone. So he came into Telet with the entire family. And maybe you can introduce yourself a little bit, Roelof.
Oh, yeah, I just came from Slovakia indeed. Now I'm Roelof. I live close by, half an hour away in Amersfoort. And I joined the Gelders Zwevenclub about 6 years ago, 5 or 6 years ago. And yeah, this is where I like to go on my days off.
First experience in Grand Prix flying?
First day ever on the Grand Prix. So that was nice.
It was fun?
Yeah, I got beat on the end, so I have lots of things to learn. So
you have to win in the end.
I have to win on the end, but I think the last part you were below me, I think, Stefan, and you have to tell me how you did it because you finished way before me in the end. So it was really interesting.
And next to Roelof is Stefan Langer. I don't think you really need an introduction at all. I think all the world's gliding pilots know Stefan Langer nowadays. But you can try to introduce yourself, maybe mentioning your reigning world champion or reigning Grand Prix champion or all the other successes. But we have to keep it short. It's only half an hour we have. But Stefan Langer.
Yeah, I'm from Germany. 32 years old, and I'm current Grand Prix world champion and also 18-meter world champion. And I'm flying here just for fun, to train with the best. And it is an amazing event up to now. You made a great organization here. Also, the media coverage and so on is really top level, and I'm enjoying it.
Okay. And then before we start talking about the day, let's see what you what you told us this morning.
The weather should be a little bit better than yesterday because we have some cumulus clouds at the end of the flight, hopefully. So that's good.
Okay.
We are all in the same weather.
Yeah. Are you going with Gallow, or do you want to do your own thing?
I try to do my own thing from time to time, but it's not really possible with such a big competition field, I would say. And especially in the blue conditions, it's hard to fly on our own.
And how worked that out today?
I would say the weather conditions were a little bit more difficult than expected, especially the clouds at the end or mid-flight. They were not really reliable, and we were not really so high that we were connected to the clouds. So I tried a lot at the beginning on my own, which was perhaps not the plan and was not the best idea. And at the end, I had a good run, I would say, good final glide, and I was able to make some points, which is great, of course.
Do you have a special love with a small town in the east of Holland called Dingsperlo? Do you know it?
No.
Because you flew past it and then went left, and you flew back into a thermal, and you had a great look at the city of Dingsperlo, but no.
I did some sightseeing on the first leg, but then
Yeah,
afterwards I was more focused on the other competitors.
halfway the first leg it was about. Yeah, Dingsperlo is famous because of the beautiful farmer daughters. So very famous in Holland, Dingsperlo. And for me it's a great honor to have such fantastic pilots here. Reigning world champions, and then on our little airfield flying a competition. But it was not necessary to fly this qualifier. Why would you come to Turlet of all places?
Because I wanted to train or wanted to have a Sailplane Grand Prix as a competition or an 18-meter competition this year. And I prefer Sailplane Grand Prix. It's much more fun. Also the community, the event, and so on. It's better. It's cooler than let's say the normal German nationals and so on. And from the time it was great to be here. So afterwards, the other option would have been the Polish Grand Prix, but it is really tight before the World Championship in club class, which I will fly in 3 weeks as well. So that was the idea. And what I really love is that here are so many amazing pilots, so many world champions and world-class pilots. So it's also great training. Yeah.
And then what I was looking about today is that you really fell behind in the beginning. I think at the top you lost about 400 or 500 meters to the front runners, but that is the world class to turn that around and finish what was it?
Fourth at the end.
Fourth in the end. How do you do it mentally?
Yeah, the good thing for me here is I don't need to win, so it's more a test and a training. I just try to make it the best, and also yesterday I was really strong in the final glide. And that what I did today as well. I just try to make it as perfect as possible and try to keep the speed already early in the final glide, but try to use the energy lines. And there I think I have a small advantage also to choose the perfect line and so on. And other pilots are perhaps a little bit more conservative. That doesn't help at the end perhaps.
No, okay, but in the end, I think a good result for what the first leg gave you after Dingsperlo. And then to Roelof, because Maybe I'm mistaken, but you had one of the best thermals close to Emmerich.
Yeah.
And there, on paper, I think you were the leading glider in the max.
Yeah, I think it was dumb luck that I found this thermal there, because normally I would turn to the Rijkswald on the left, what some pilots did. And I thought, well, there may be another one just before Malden, the turn point. And yeah, with dumb luck I found it there, I think. It was really good. It was 3.5, 4 meters.
Holy.
So that worked.
Okay.
Yeah, just before the turn point going, we would have to fly into the wind again afterwards. So it was really nice to have it there.
And in the end, it was P10 for you?
8.
P8. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I got 2 points.
2 points. Okay. We're doubling off yesterday. So,
Yeah.
and then from that position, because you went from virtually P1 to P8 in the upwind leg, the forelast leg. What happened?
Yeah, that must be virtual, because I never had the feeling I was flying in front. So I think Michael was flying in front all the time.
Yeah, abetief.
Yeah, maybe low, but yeah. Yeah, I was already really happy I could just follow all the other guys around. So that was good. And I have to do some analyzing about the last leg, what happened there, because I was in a better position on the beginning of the leg than at the end, and I got even overtaken just before the finish by Simon Schreuder below me. So I thought, oh, then I'll be able to go lower as well, but that didn't work. So he was still faster and lower. So I have to see what I did wrong.
And now you're both club class pilots in the basics. Yeah, Stefan is now the world champion in 18 meters, so it's not a club class pilot anymore.
I tried club class
everything
sometimes
again. Yeah.
before, but it only went 2 times the 3rd place, so I don't know.
And does it affect your flying in 80 meter class? That long club class history?
I think the best is to start with club class, because there it's easier to see the mistakes, because the glide angle is worse. So if you don't hit a thermal, you will make an outlanding and see the result at the end. So for training, I think it's really good. And to step up in a higher performance glider is some kind of easy, I would say. So it is good to train with club class, and I still like flying club class as well.
So the club class is a harder class to fly.
Perhaps, yes, yeah.
You were 3rd last time you said, so probably. and for Roelof, the switch from club class, you won the FCC in Slovakia last week in the LS7, and now sitting in a brand new JS3.
I'm in a Ferrari now, yeah. Now it's big changes, especially on high speed entering thermals. It's really hard to judge when to pull up, turn, and be exactly in the circle above. That's really something I need to work on the coming days.
Okay.
It worked. It's not hard if they're at the same altitude, but if the gliders are much higher, the speed is so much higher, and the LS7 flies really easy. So if you turn it into the thermal, the nose will yaw a bit, and as long as you feel aileron pressure, you're all right. But yeah, here it goes so fast, so I have to have some adjusting to do.
Okay, and what I saw with you, Stefan, you're really, we call it dolphining in Dutch.
Yeah.
You're taking a lot of energy out of the glider, putting it back in the air or in altitude, and then gaining speed again. And it's a thing. It looks at the tracking that it's typically you doing that more than others. Is that something you inherit out of the club class, maybe?
I tried to avoid it earlier, I would say, but now I'm doing it more, because I have a new barometer which is really accurate, and there I think it's better to dolphin again if you pull up in the rising air and if you accelerate quick enough. So I'm not sure if it's the best. It's also something you can see here in direct comparison.
Yeah.
Therefore, the Grand Prix is perfect also for learning. But yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment.
Cool. And for Roelof, any things you can do in a club class glider that won't work in an 80 meter?
Yeah. A lot. Yes. So much slower than you can try a lot of things, and here you really have to anticipate on what you're going to do at an early stage, I guess. And in a club class glider, you can just feel a bit in the air and make a bit more turns. But maybe that's just my inexperience with this class.
Okay, nice. And I thought a lot about tactics, but there is no tactics, I think. Is there any tactics for Grand Prix flying for you, Stefan?
Today I avoided every tactics, I would say, which makes sense. So usually at a Grand Prix it is not necessary to try to get away already at the beginning or so. At the end it's only about the position. So if you are the highest in the last gaggle perhaps, or have a great final glide and win at the end, that's enough. So you don't need to be 10 minutes earlier than the others. And most of the time I would say that the risk to take risks at the beginning is most likely not as rewarded as taking the risks perhaps at the end and trying to make a good final glide. But I'm also there, not really the pro, I would say, in Grand Prix flying.
You're the world champion.
Yeah, but
But you're not leaving for an early final glide. You just climb high and then fight till the end. Or?
I would say yesterday, because of Simon, he left the thermal really early, and I thought, why not try it? And it worked out. And today it was a little bit more conservative than yesterday. But I think what we did was to get the energy lines and try to fly fast at the beginning. Of course, we needed to make a few turns in a thermal, which is not perfect at the end, and Michael did it much better. So
he had a really long final glide, not thermaling at all from the last turn point.
Yeah. Amazing.
Amazing. And now there is. We have points. So there is how you call it, the classement, the
scoreboard.
Yeah, there's a scoreboard. Will that affect your upcoming days, Roelof?
Yeah, I'm going for 4 points tomorrow. So
4 points.
All in now.
What position is 4 points?
I don't know.
Sixth?
I guess so then. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 6.
okay.
Sixth. Okay. Okay. And for Stefan?
I don't know, I just fly and then we see at the end. But we have so many flying days, and even if there's one day without points, it's also not too bad, I would say.
No. I heard that's one of the big advantages of Grand Prix flying, because normally in a normal large tournament, if you land out, like if you make one big mistake, then the entire competition is gone. And here, if you score 0 points one day, there are only 10 points to score if you win. So it's not like your entire competition is over at that moment.
That's also why you can try and test and push and so on. But at the end, perhaps the tactics of the normal competition are not so bad, to be more in the flow, a little bit higher, and just use the good energy lines and consistency at the end as well. I think today, at least for my flying style, it was too aggressive and it's not rewarded.
Okay. Now things to bring tomorrow, and for Roelof. No, I was wondering. You're here quite. Stefan is here quite alone, I believe. No Rukholer.
Yes.
And no help out. You have your German competition friends, I believe, but no family. In Roelof's case, the entire family has to be around the airfield. Is that the best way to fly the competition, to gain the max out of yourself?
Yeah, definitely. My daughter helped me this morning, Vera. She helped me with the glider, and she cleaned it yesterday, so that's perfect.
Okay.
This evening I was alone, but
she's still cleaning.
That's really.
She's almost done.
What I'm doing? Yeah. And
don't forget the left wing.
I have loads of help, so no complaining. And also Max, the owner of the glider, he rigged it all together before I arrived here. since I had quite a close schedule getting here from Previtsa. And the glider was all ready, there was water, and it's too luxurious actually. And my father will come later on this week to help again.
Maybe Robin, you can come to the table, because then I can ask you something as well. Because Robin is the task setter and the meteo man. We had a dwarf in Tabor. But about the upcoming week, this was the first day of competition.
Yeah.
How does it look? Are we going to fly every day? What's your...
I thought it would be a little bit better today, a little bit more cloudy, but that was a little bit less than expected. Tomorrow will be a difficult day, I think. A lot more wind than today. A little bit lower base, so perhaps the task will be a little bit shorter.
Okay, and is the wind? Is it still east?
Yeah, it stays east for the whole competition. For the rest of the week, it will stay east. I think as of Wednesday, the conditions will improve, but that's so far away.
Yeah, because in Holland the wind is always west, normally.
Yeah, it's quite strange to have such a long period of easterly winds and very dry and warm air affecting to our area. So it's very difficult to predict at the moment. It's not common for us.
And it's quite special that we have good thermals with easterly winds.
Normally it's very bad, yeah, but today I think it was quite good. Yeah.
What was your task average about?
I think 116 kilometers an hour. It is, yeah.
And thermal?
Thermal average, I don't know exactly. My best was about 3.5 meters, but yeah, 2.5 was already quite okay and good. Yeah.
Okay, and then I planned to make like a scoreboard, because we have this huge table with the top speed, but I didn't check the top speed of the day. Robin, do you know it?
What did you do? He's talking on the phone. I think 119.
119.
Yeah.
Okay, for tomorrow I will put it on the table, 119, and then we'll make a scoreboard throughout the competition, and we'll see who wins the average speed competition.
Okay.
I think that's about it. Any questions from the audience? No, there's not. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow, 8:15. Thank you all. Thank you for coming to the Gallow Mountain. Have a beer, the fridge is full. And see you tomorrow.
Thank you.